Well, today is a new day. On my way to the Meadows. We got a qualified 3 and school 1. Hopefully that goes well. It's just supposed to be an absolute scorcher of a day. It's supposed to get to mid to high 90s, touching 100 degrees today. It's insane. I every day on a day like today, you turn the page and what happened. It wasn't a bad 2 days. Just wasn't what we expected. And then, factor in the sale and the feelings surrounding the sale and everything that has just gone on over the last 2 days. It was tiring. It was. I felt refreshed when I woke up today. A little bit of clarity. And I wanted to go through some of the other things. I know that some people are asking for updates on horses and what our plans were. And I did want to touch on some other things, and that was horses. People had messaged me and said a couple of notes. First off, I had mentioned about Australian horses coming here last week. Now, there's 2 horses coming. Only one of them's for sale. The other horse is being sent here by one of our partners, Daniel Cordina. Many of you know that name if you don't know the person himself. Very nice man. Him and his wife Sandy are coming over here for the jug, for Lexington, for the sale. And he said he had a horse that showed a little blood. Now, you got to understand, Australia and New Zealand are a totally different universe when it comes to racing, right? So, you guys know we scope a lot of horses, and some of them will show a little blood. When they say showed blood, that's a little trickle of blood in their nose. And if they're coming off the track and the vet sees that, that's an immediate 30-day suspension for the horse. Immediate. There's no Lasix allowed in Australia and New Zealand. And if the commission veterinarian sees any blood, it's 30 days. Now, you arrest the horse, you bring it back. If it happens again, if there's any blood found again, that horse is banned for life. Can never race again. Which is harsh, I think. But to each his own. I mean, it's their sandbox, their choice. It's the way it is, their rules. So, Daniel was worried in training. One of these horses showed a little blood, and he didn't want to get in a situation where the horse was going to be suspended or red flag, so to speak. So he asked if I would take the horse over here. Sure, no problem. I forget the horse's name. Anyway, I said, I'm thinking to myself, well, if we're taking one, and I know how much it costs to fly the horse, around 20 grand. It's not cheap. Why wouldn't we just buy 3 or 4? I'll tell you what, it's a good gig for whoever lines up these flights and the shipping to the flights and the quarantine in the United States or Canada, and then the shipping to the barn. The price that we were quoted for Neptune is the name of the horse. We'll talk about him in a second. The price I was quoted was for all in. Trucking to the airport, flight, quarantine in Chicago, and shipping right to your barn at Northfield Park. Okay? All in. Neptune's going to cost $44,000. All in. Now, Daniel owned a piece of Neptune. Robbie Morris, who trained some horses for us in Australia, owns a piece of Neptune also. And they want to retain their pieces. Now, their other owners do not. So there is 60% of Neptune who's going to be up for sale when he lands here. I'm trying to figure out, how do I quantify it? I'm like, my God, you're stupid. It's simple. It's $44,000 for the whole horse landing. We're only getting 60 shares of the horse. Just put the 60 shares up for sale on the site. I literally spent days trying to figure out the best way to do this, and it's the easiest thing in the world. So Neptune will arrive somewhere after September 10th. He'll have to quarantine in Chicago, and then he will come to Northfield Park. We'll get a look at him. I don't know what kind of acclimation time the horses generally need, if much at all. Get a look under the hood, train them up, school them, and put them on Lasix. and then decide where they're going to race. Now, every time we buy a horse, especially now, we have people saying, where are they going to race, where are they going to race? I would say either the Meadows or Mohawk. That's where they're going to race. I don't think we're going to race them on a half just yet. They'll likely end up at the Meadows or Mohawk, but we will use the entire arsenal of condition sheets to figure out the best place for them. Neptune's got, I think, 8 wins and 80,000 made, a mark of 51, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't know whether that was on a 5/8 or a 7/8 mile track. It could have been at Menangle. It could have been at another track. But I did see a couple of those races. Good looking horse. It's a better Stolite 4-year-old. Doesn't wear a boot. Blasts off the car. Gonna be a useful horse for us, I think. So I told Daniel I would take those horses. So Neptune, I guess, will once I have everything locked in place, we'll sell the shares of Neptune. What's today? Tuesday. I would imagine Thursday. Let's say I'll try to have everything done by. That's not even September, so we're not even going to see. He's not even going to race till the end of September. So, but I do have to. Obviously, we do have to pay for the horse before they put him on the plane. So, so there's that. Now, Amy, I couldn't believe it. You know, Amy and I were talking last night, and she's like, I don't even. She goes, it just feels like yesterday we were breaking the baby. She goes, I have to get back into baby mode. I was looking at videos last night before I went to bed around midnight, and she's like, what are you doing? I said, oh, honey. I said, we have the Springfield sale coming up in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, almost 2.5 weeks. We have Lexington right after that. There's a lot to get done, a lot to look at. And I said, honestly, we have the sale tomorrow too. And I said, I know, it's generally a scratch and dent sale, but I'm not gonna not go just because. It's funny because I said I wasn't going to the Goshen sale. Every year it's a rush to go to the Goshen sale. Somebody sent me a message and said there's a brother to pull the shoes in the sale. I think it was pull the shoes. Anyway, I'm not worried about that today. Today is the sale in Ohio. I think Amy's just going to go down and sharpen her tools, so to speak. Looking at babies, trying to mentally get herself back into baby mode. So she is. I only have maybe 4 or 5 horses on the list for her to look at. So it'll be interesting to see what she comes up with. If I know Amy, she's going to get a Starbucks somewhere around there. She's going to go to the sale. She's going to look at the babies, and she will absolutely, under no circumstances, put her hand up. I can almost guarantee it. But nevertheless, I was surprised and happy that she decided to go down to Springfield today. Springfield? Yes, Springfield. Now, those aren't the only things going on. As I said when I started the video, we have Miss Mildred's daughter, first ever daughter. Now, as I had said, many of you may not remember her. Very fast filly, got injured in her first qualifier for us. Schaefer Farms bred her. They took her back, and she was bred to Sweet Lou, and her first foal will be coming to us. I'll let you know what the share prices are when I talk to the Schaefers. But she'll be coming in probably in the next week or so. We have our own horses also. Aside from that, we have a Volstead sister to Sweeney, which I'm very interested. I mean, Sweeney, he's a bit of an enigma. I felt he could have been a better horse, but obviously this is a different sex and a different sire, right? This is a Volstead. We have 2 Volsteads coming in. Sweeney's sister is coming in, and we actually have what's her name? Cheers to Beers, a colt by Volstead out of State Park S. Now, State Park is, if you remember back, I thought I was so clever doing this at the time. The Volsteads all sold for a lot of money. That first crop, Sugar and Stead's crop. Nice horses. A lot of people raved about them. And they all went for a lot of money, which was shocking. I couldn't understand it. So we go to Harrisburg, and we're talking about how these Volsteads were crazy expensive. And there's this good-looking revenue mare there called State Park, in foal to Volstead. So I bought her. We've since had a tactical landing out of her also. So we have the Yearling, who is Volstead coming to us this year. We've already named the horse. Apparently, its name is Cheers to Beers. What just happened there? That's weird. Its name is Cheers to Beers, and it's a Yearling by Volstead out of State Park S. We also have some other horses. Capistrano's baby is coming in. That's Capistrano Nights, a lather up. First year we had the lather up. We thought so highly of that filly, the blue chip filly. It just didn't pan out. Kind of, quite frankly, left a tiny bit of a bad taste in my mouth. The lather ups weren't killing it, but just down by the seaside just devoured the entire jurisdiction where he got every good mare. So I'm trying to take all the information in with a grain of salt, but at the same time, it is what it is. Down by the seaside is demolishing everybody, and Lather Up was doing okay, but not killing it. And then this year we Gorgeous Package, and she has been killing it. Hey, not a top sire stake filly, but a very, very nice filly nevertheless. So Capistrano, if you remember, was a nice 2-year-old for us. Took a 2-year-old mark, I think, at 53 and a piece. At 3, she battled some soundness issues. She herself bled a little bit, but ended up being an okay filly. And rather than dumping her in a condition claimer and moving her around from jurisdiction to jurisdiction, John and I decided to, and our partner decided to breed her. So we have 2 lather ups, a Yearling and a Weanling. She's back in foal in Ontario, actually. She's in Lexington right now, but bred in Ontario to beach class. So Capistrano Nights, the filly by Lather Up at a Capistrano, is going to make her way to our barn. Pretty Eyes and Lies. Now this one will be, be one of Amy's favorites. Amy, so you guys probably remember the story of Lawmaker and what he meant to the barn, the stable. The first big horse to put us on the map. We raced him in the Hamiltonian eliminations. He was just a really, really nice trotter. Sold him overseas, and we bought his sister, What the Hill filly, and her name was Eyes of 10. Wasn't a very good horse. Tried hard. Wasn't a very good horse. We ended up breeding her to international money. I think we have a green shoe coulter filly on the ground, Weanling, but the Yearling is by international money, and her name is Pretty Eyes and Lies. It's actually a good name. She's going to be in also, and then the last one, Tomboy Strong, is a full sister to I Don't Play Nice. Now, I Don't Play Nice, a little disappointing this year, but he just turned out to be such a big, growthy colt. We just turned him out. We'll bring him back and race him at Christmas time. Pretty hard not to like him. Overall, he's got a beautiful gait, nice way of going. His attitude isn't bad, so I suspect he'll come back and be a nice 3-year-old. This is the full sister. Her name is Tomboy Strong. Some of those shares will go up for sale. Obviously, we don't own all of them. We have partners on these horses also. But the stable shares, my shares, will go up for sale, some of them anyway, over the next little while as we get ready for sale season. So we have 6 yearlings that are already in our possession, so to speak. We have Miss Mildred's Daughter by Sweet Lou. We have Sweeney's Sister by Volstead. We have our Lather Up daughter out of Capistrano, Volstead colt at a State Park, an international money filly out of Eyes of 10, and a long Tom full sister to I Don't Play Nice, a filly named Tomboy Strong out of Muscle Chrome. Now, also on the docket, we have horses racing today, which I'm really, really excited to watch happen. We have Allie's Got Grit and What a Lady, What a Night racing for $35,000 today. Both these horses, Allie's Got Grit made a break, but it ended up a little bit of a curb, and his hock was bothering him. Jim did some work on him. We couldn't quite corral the curb. We're going to do that tomorrow after races today, because he has 2 weeks till his next race. What a Lady, What a Night race great, her first start. I'm excited to see how she's going to do. And then I know Atrant is on the list, but Atrant is not really our horse. She's in Minnesota. She'll be racing today. Elson Miller is going to race her, so good luck to Dr. Russell and Elson Miller. And Gaslight Hall is racing today, and I'm super excited to see what's going to take place with Gaslight Hall. This horse raced great in Kentucky in his leg of the Sire Stakes. So I'm very interested to see how he does today. If he does really well, if he wins today, it might be enough to propel him into the grassroots finals. Now, they're not going with eliminations this year. They're going with top 10 starters. So I don't know how that affects him. If he wins, does that mean that he has enough points? Does he have to race in the next leg? Because I think the next leg is somewhat at the same time as the Kentucky finals. And is he even in the Kentucky finals? I don't know. We're going to have to see. So a lot going on today. Tomorrow, I'm in the Meadows and Northfield Park. You guys know that. And we do have a lot of updates throughout the day. So Wednesday, I'll give you guys an update on all the horses in the barn, where they're at, what they're doing, what the plan is with them, and then I will let you know about how the yearlings are. Did we get any horses today? We have a lot of horses moving around. As you know, the 3 are coming back from Kentucky. Dr. Latessa is going to look at them. Widespread Panic is coming back from Indiana. He's going to be racing at the Meadows next week. And did we get any horses today? I'll let you know about that later on this afternoon. But for right now, mildly updated. We do have horses coming from Australia mid-month. We do have yearlings coming in from the field this week and next. But for right now, you're at least mildly caught up in the barn. I hope you're having a great day. If it's supposed to be as nice where you are as it is where I am, stay out of the sun. It's going to be a scorcher today.